How do you optimize a funnel page for SEO? So in the case of this tutorial that you're about to watch, I'm going to show you how to set up a page if you are a real estate professional in Cape Town, for example, and your main keyword is real estate agents in Cape Town. If that's the keyword you want to rank for, or real estate agents in Johannesburg, real estate agents in LA, wherever you are based in the world, your main keywords are the ones that you want to be found for when someone does a Google search. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how to use the main keyword in your various elements on page, and how to build a agent-centric page that speaks into the needs of what your perfect customer and your market is looking for in terms of the help that they need. So sit back, relax, take some notes, and enjoy this tutorial. Websites and funnels for real estate agents. What is the best builder out there? Well, we've got a pretty good builder inside Property Funnels, and it's really easy. It's drag and drop. It's got all the main elements that you would need, including your header tags and your alt tags inside your images. So it can also rank on Google for organic search. So today I'm going to show you exactly how to set up your first funnel. And today's idea really is around setting up an agent-centric page so that you can rank in your local area for the keywords that you're trying to rank for. So first things first, you go into funnels. Let me just move this out the way. Sorry about that. My mouse's battery went flat. So this little guy, gone. All right, cool. So we were basically talking about how to set up an agent-centric page that you can rank in your local market for the keywords that you're trying to rank for. And it's really, really simple. So you do potentially need your own domain name. So you can go ahead and go to GoDaddy, Namecheap, domains.co.za, whatever your domain provider is, and go and purchase a domain, perhaps your name, or a domain on property sales in whatever city it may be. So that does help. But we do already give you a starting point to have build your funnel page on our own domain, which is funnels.propertyfunnels.properties, and then it'll just be a / your name or your name and area in which you operate. So today I'm going to show you quickly how to do that. So when you sign up, you will get access to your own funnels as well as the ability to create a new funnel. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit create a new funnel, and I'm going to give it a name, and I'm just going to call this one agent page, create funnel. And now I'm going to go to the settings, and I'm going to link in the domain before I start building. So I'm going to go to settings, and I'm going to choose the funnels.propertyfunnels.properties, and that's going to be the name or the actual domain that this is going to live on. And if you have your own domain, we plug in that domain here so that it doesn't have anything else to do with Property Funnels. So we hit save, and then what we're going to do is we're going to build the first step. So most funnel pages are single and double step pages because you'll have an opt-in, for example, but you don't have to have that. So what we're going to start with is we're going to build a basic page, but we're also going to maybe potentially put a form on the page so that we can collect leads. So maybe before we even go there, let's go and build a form first. So go into forms, you're still inside sites, go to builder, and let's create a new form. So I'm just going to create a new form over here called agent page. So I'm going to go to the options, give it a new name, call it agent page, maybe opt-in. And I'm going to then go to fields, and I'm going to say, okay, well, what information do I need from someone? I need maybe their full name, I need their phone number, and I need their email address. I also want to put a button on this so that I can at least have something customized. It'll already come with its own button, but then it's not customized. So obviously I want to change the text of this button. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to change this button's text to submit. That. Then I can also maybe make this button a little bit bigger. So you can see at the bottom it says full width there. I'm going to just select that. And I prefer rounded buttons. I think they look a little prettier. So corner radius, I'm going to make 20. Hit enter, and you can see that the round button is now round. So if this is not your brand color, you can click here, and you can change your color on the palette. Or if you have the actual hex code of your brand, you can just paste that in there. So I'm just going to use the color picker, and I'm going to make it a blue. So let's make it that blue there. Click to close that. And then that's basically it that we need from the form. So we're going to hit integrate form, and we're going to hit save form. And now our form is saved. So we can go back to our funnels, and we can go and build the page. So we've already got the funnel page called agent page. And then here I'm going to add a new step. So I'm going to add a new step, and I'm just going to call this one agent page. This is internal, so no one can see this part, the name of the page. That's for your benefit. So agent page, maybe step 1. And then the path is whatever happens after property funnels.properties / and I'm going to write here agent page. Maybe agent page 1, like that. Hit create funnel step. And now what you can see, we've got property funnels.properties / agent page 1. So I'm going to create something from blank. So I'm going to just open it up in a new tab instead of closing everything. And we just wait for the builder to load. Now, a few things that you need to know when you build a page are you need sections, rows, and columns, and elements, essentially. So what you want is a section with information that goes into that section, for example, your header, and below that would be the call to action or the actual reason for them landing on the page. And then sections below it, maybe talking about who you are, what you do, some of your testimonials perhaps, a form, and then at the end, your footer, which would be your photo with your phone number, a clickable phone number, or an email address, which is clickable. But essentially what we want people to do is to fill in the form. So I'm just going to scroll out a bit here because my screen's a bit big or small. And then what you can see here inside the builder, a few buttons. So this is your mobile, this is your desktop view, this is your mobile view. Inside the settings, we basically set up the name of the page, so the hypertext, your SEO metadata that appears when you share the page or in Google search. There's a pop-up, so if you want to put the form into a pop-up, you can do that. There's your sections, rows, columns, elements, and then it starts off with what do you want to start off first. So I always say a full width, and that will be your first section. Sections are in green, then your rows are in blue, and your elements, for example, a headline is in orange. So if you want to add columns, you can add a column. Hold on. You can add a column below the blue one here, and you can say, okay, I want 2 columns, 4 columns, or 3 columns, however many columns you want, and that'll give you a columnized view. So this first section should actually be for your branding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this so you can also delete. And what I want to do is I want to have a 2-column section here. So instead of having this this row, 1-column row, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to add a row, and I'm going to put 2 columns here. So I'm going to put my branding on the left, and I'm going to put my name and my photo on the right. So click there, add image, and then if you click on this, once you've got it selected, you can change your image by going into the image library. So I'm going to just go into the image library and see if I can find anything. I don't have anything in here, so I can search for, let's just go to Unsplash for some free images, and I'm just going to write here logo, and I'm going to pick this Bond Street logo, and then you can see that you can also resize it, so the width and the height. So for example, maybe the height I want to make 200, so just make it a bit smaller. And on the right-hand side here, I'm going to put an image, and I'm going to put some subheading text there. And I'll tell you why. So this is going to be my name. So I'm just going to put my own name in here. And I'm going to write my number, 72, 2, and I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to make this a clickable phone number. And then here, I'm going to write TEL colon, and then the number. So I think it is 2772721122, something like that. Hit enter. Now you can see it's a clickable number. So if I preview this, this number will be clickable from a mobile device or from your from a laptop if you want to dial out using your phone that way. Maybe make this bold. So you can also hit bold there, or you can change your text, your text colors, your text alignment. And then, for example, maybe I don't want bold text to be black. I want to keep it maybe that brand red. So if I've got my colors, I can change the bold text color. Gives you a few options, but you can choose your own color. Again, if you've got the hex code, you can use it there, or you can just click on that, and let's make this red. And then hit add color. And now what you see is you've got an extra color added, and that color has changed to red because it's bold. Your link colors, you can see link text color is currently blue, but I can change that to red too, or I can keep it blue because it's obvious that it's a clickable link then. All right, and then over here, I'm just going to add my photo. So I don't have my photo on file here. I'm going to go back to Unsplash, and I'm just going to choose man. See if I can find a picture of a man. Cool, yeah, great. So let's just use this guy here. And now I've got my branding and I've got my face here. So you can add images that have got zero background so that it inherits the same color as the background. So in this case, these are images with solid backgrounds, as is this one. But you can go to a site like remove.bg to remove the background of your images so that you can actually put that in, and you will just have this man floating around his shoulders and around his head. And the same for the branding. So I think I'm going to just make him also a bit smaller, maybe 300. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to preview it in mobile just to see what it looks like. See, so my height, I've stretched it a little bit. So maybe instead of height, because it is a square image, I'm going to make it 200 on the width, and then go back to the maybe 300 again. Now it's sort of in line, maybe 350, 20. You can play around to see where you get a happy medium, but that's about as good as I'm going to get it for this tutorial. Okay. Okay, so now I've got the first section. So what I want to do is, if I want to have like a thank you page on the back of this, to save myself time instead of having to rebuild this every single time, I'm going to then save this as a global section. So I'm going to say global section or as a template, but I like the global section because it's going to update other pages that use the same section. So I'm just calling this one header. Save section, and now your section, because it's a global section, changes to this sort of bright gray. Okay, so now that I'm happy with this section, maybe let's just add a background. So if you click there, you can see there's a background color, and you can make this background color, for example, this like light green. You can make it black, or you can make it, for example, blue. It's going to make that blue disappear. So let's change it to, let's keep it this sort of gray because it works with that image. All right, so I've got the section now. So what I want to do now is I want to add another section. So I'm going to click on the plus sign, another full width section, and maybe another 2-column row here. Because on the left-hand side, I want to put the headline, and on the right-hand side, I'm going to put the form. So let's click Element, hit the headline, and then this is, for example, if you need a real estate agent in, let's say, Cape Town, or do you need a real estate agent in Cape Town? Do you need a real estate agent in Cape Town? And then we can have some subtext below that. Let's just move this out the way. Maybe something like, then I'm your guy, or whatever. And then this one, because I want it to be I've got maybe a keyword here. So my keyword is real estate agents in Cape Town. So that's the keyword I want to rank for. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select all, and I'm going to make sure this is selected as an H1. So this is the heading 1 on the page, because that's the main title of the page. So I'm going to choose H1. And I can also change the sizing of this if I wanted to here. For example, desktop, maybe I want to make it a bit bigger. So I'm going to change it to 40. And mobile is currently sitting on 32. So let's see what it looks like on mobile. So let's just say I want to make it 35. And then I can go to advanced, and I can transform the text into either capitalize or all uppercase or all lowercase. So I'm going to say capitalize, so that all my text is capitalized in the front. And then this one, maybe then I'm your real estate professional. Okay. So what we've got here now is an H1, which is the main keyword for this page. And because real estate agent in Cape Town is my main keyword, I'm going to place that inside the settings in the SEO metadata. And then the title is real estate agent in Cape Town. And then a meta description could be something along the lines of, you should remember to put your main keyword in your meta description too. So maybe if you need a real estate agent in Cape Town, then you need to speak to us. And then your keyword, your main keyword, you can paste that in there, is real estate agent in Cape Town. Now you can also put a social image in here. So if you have an image, I'm going to just use the Bond Street one again. So let's just go to Unsplash and go to logo. I'm just going to pick that one. So this is what it would look like in Google search. So real estate agent in Cape Town. If you need a real estate agent in Cape Town, then you need to speak to us. And then you can see when you share it, it's going to look like this on WhatsApp or on Facebook or on email. You update the metadata. And now you've basically optimized the first part of your page for SEO. So the next thing we could do now is I might want to optimize this image too. So I'm going to click on the image. And if you scroll down, you can see there's the alt text. So your image, I should actually have an image that I upload. It should be in the file name, real estate agent in Cape Town, in this case. Should be what the name of the file is called, because that's the main keyword I want to rank for. But I can also add it to the alt text there, real estate agent in Cape Town. So that is linking in with my main keyword. It's linking in with my meta title and my meta description. So basically, I've optimized this page across 3 or 4 different elements of SEO, which is the main SEO metadata, the alt tag on the image, the image's own name when it's a raw file on your computer, the H1, so this is my main heading, and then I just need to put maybe an H2 or an H3, which is your heading 2, heading 3, with the same title. So then, let's just move this out the way. Now on the right-hand side, I'm going to add my form. So I'm going to click on form, and you're going to pick the form you just created. So there's the agent opt-in. So this is my form. You can see there's my blue. And now people can see this, read that I'm your real estate professional, and they can fill in your form if they want to. The next part of this is maybe describing how other people do business with your business. So you can add another section, scroll down, put another 2 columns in, for example. And then here, I'm going to write a headline. And I'm going to say why my clients choose me as their real estate agent in Cape Town. So I'm going to undo that, bold it. So this is going to be where my testimonials are going to go. But as you can see, I've got my main keyword here too. So I'm going to select all in this box, and I'm going to change it from an H1, and I'm going to make it an H2. Again, go to advanced. I'm going to transform my text to capitalize. And then at the bottom here, I'm going to write here, and why you should too. That. And on the right-hand side, I can put my testimonials now. So I'm going to choose a subhead, and I'm going to choose then a paragraph, and then I'm going to choose another subhead, and yeah, so that's fine. So this one would be the sort of like the pull out text. So if this long paragraph is people saying how great you are in your business, this will be a piece of that text that you're going to pull out here. So I'm going to italicize it too, and I'm going to say best agent in Cape Town. So that would be what the person would sort of a pull out text. And then yeah, I can also put in quote marks. So I've selected this text field, and at the icon, I'm going to write here quotes. And I'm going to pick that one. So there I've got a quote mark, best agent in Cape Town. And then this is the text which would describe it in detail. So just give me a second while I write out something so that you can not have to watch me type these things out. Okay, so I've created some copy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just paste it in here. So I'm going to select all, Control V to paste it. And I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger so that you can see it better. So the desktop font size, let's make it 18. And the mobile font size, we can also make it 18. This one size is 23, so that's fine. I'm going to make it 25 and 25. They're consistent on mobile and desktop. All right, so there's my information. You can see best real estate agent in Cape Town. So let's just say best real estate agent in Cape Town. And here's the text. So we dealt with many agents in Cape Town only to find out that quality was harder to find than we first believed. By the time we found David, we were already pretty jaded from our past experiences, but we needed to sell, and quick. What a breath of fresh air. David was fast, efficient, and responsive. Hands down, the best real estate agent in Cape Town. Oh, and he helped us to sell within just a few short weeks. Pamela. So I'm going to take Pamela out there, and I'm going to put her name here with a icon of potentially like, a client or a person or a house or whatever you want that icon to be. So let's just choose a house right there. So this testimonial belongs to Pamela. So it's very easy to sort of make that distinction. So you can also change this to a left align, or you can keep it center aligned. I quite like the left aligned for these things, including that one, and then keep this one center. So what does this look like on mobile? If we go to mobile view, we've got context of our brand. We see our agent. Do you need a real estate agent in Cape Town? Then I'm your real estate professional. There's our form. Here's our testimonial area. So why clients choose me as their real estate agent in Cape Town and why you should too. There's our first testimonial. So maybe we just break this up a bit too. And then there's Pamela. So we've got now on this page, from an SEO perspective, let me just recap. In the SEO meta description and metadata, we've got the title. We've got our main keyword in the description. We've got our main keyword selected inside the keywords area. We've got this image with our main keyword in the alt text. The file is obviously not changed into, it doesn't have the actual name of the keyword in the file. So you should do that. We've got the keyword in the H1, real estate agent in Cape Town. We've got in our H2, real estate agent in Cape Town in our H2 as well. So that's from a basic standpoint what you need in order just to get those first fundamental building blocks for your funnel page in place so that you can actually start to rank that funnel. So we've also even got real estate agent in Cape Town here. So we could make this an H3, but we don't need to because we've got the copy in the text. What we can do now is, instead of building that piece, building that piece, building that piece, is just to duplicate these various sections so that we've got maybe 2 testimonials on the side that we want. So I'm going to just duplicate that subheadline. I'm going to duplicate that copy, and I'm going to duplicate Pamela. So I can drag these sections down to there, and I can drag Pamela back up to the top. So we've got the first one with Pamela, then we'll have a second one, and then somebody else's name. So maybe between these two, I'm going to put a divider so that it's easy to see that they don't belong to each other. So I clicked on the plus sign, I'm going to hit divider, and now I've got a divider between that testimonial and this testimonial. Obviously, you would change the content in both of these testimonials to match. So that's the first thing that you would need from an agent-centric landing page. And while I'm at the top, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to put this down at the bottom so that I don't have to rebuild this section. So I'm going to clone it, and I'm going to drag this green one there to the bottom, right to the bottom of the page. Let me just see if it worked. It didn't work for me that time. Let me just try one more time. There we go. So now I've got a header and I've got the footer at the bottom. So what I want to do then is I'm going to, especially on mobile, this guy, if you go to mobile view, it's not great to have the branding, the agent, and the call to action below the fold. So basically the fold is when somebody opens their phone, they land on the page, do they see themselves on that page, or do they see something else that doesn't feel related to them? So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to keep the branding, because the branding is good for context and for authenticity and authority, essentially. And I'm going to take this section with David, and I'm going to remove him from the mobile view. So that column, I'm going to select the column. I'm going to go to Advanced, and I'm going to say the visibility I only want for desktop. So I'm going to click on the mobile to remove it. So now it's gone. But if I go back to desktop, it's still there. So as you can see, you can hide certain parts based on the view that people, or based on the device that people are viewing your content on. So what you can see, somebody lands on this page, they do a Google search, top real estate agents in Cape Town. They see this funnel page, basically say, click on me. They click on it, and this is what they will see. They'll see your logo. They will see the problem statements of, do you need a real estate agent in Cape Town? Well, duh, yes, I do, because I did a search. I'm your real estate professional. Then they're going to read what other people are saying about you. So this is what people have said about me. And then I need another section just to sort of, drive home what happens, who am I, essentially, as well as, what's going to happen when I contact you. So what I can do now is I can add a new section between these two here. I'm going to click on the plus sign, a full length section. And then here, I'm going to add in some information about me as an agent. So I'm going to add a row. You've got a couple options you can do here, but I find what works quite nice is to have a single column. And the element we're going to choose here is an image feature. So this is going to have the person's photo on the left or on the right, and then the text about them on the right-hand side. So if you click on the image feature, you can see that's where you would put your image. So this guy here, I'm going to just find his URL. So I'm going to just copy that, copy. And if I click here on the image feature section. I can go to the image, and I'm going to just paste this so that I've got David sitting there. Now I can also change the sizing. So he's a little bit small on this page. So what I'm going to do now, if I go to the bottom, is I can choose the sizes that I want the text to be and the image to be. I can make it 50-50, or I can say, 60-40, 70-30. Currently, it's on 80-20. So the text is bigger than the image. If I say 50-50, you've got 50% of the page taken up by David, the other 50% taken up by, sort of about me. So I quite like a 60-40, so that it's still strong enough but not overpowering. And if you go to the mobile view, it actually is quite large and it stands out on the page quite nicely. So here you can obviously write, for example, hi, I'm David. And then you would write about why people choose you, what's happening in the market, a bit of your history, your story. So something about, how you got into real estate, how you help clients, who your perfect customer is, and anything personal about you. So maybe you like rock climbing, maybe you like surfing, something for people to sort of latch onto, that there's a personality behind this person. They don't just help people buy and sell property, but they're human beings too, and it gives them something to sort of latch onto that is real to them. So, you can be as creative as you want over here, or you can write something short and sweet, quite simple. It's really up to you. But my suggestion always is to write a little bit more than you think you do, because people need to feel comfortable with who you are. Okay, so now that you've got this page built out already to this point where you've basically now talking about yourself, the next step is to actually tell people, okay, what's going to happen when they contact you? So how do you do your job? So in this case, what are you going to do when somebody makes contact with you? So you can create a new section again, another full section, and I would create first one column, because you're going to write a headline here, and then a column with 3 columns, so a section with 3 columns, or a row with 3 columns. So I'm going to put the first one in there. The element is a headline element. And then, for example, how I will help you. Make it advanced, text transform, capitalize, how I will help you. And then a subheadline, maybe something like in 3 easy steps. People love lists, people love easy. So it's always good for these little trigger words are very good to include in your page. So in 3 easy steps, so that they can understand it. So I'm going to click on the blue one, and I'm going to create 3 columns. So I'm going to say 3 columns. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put an image and a subheadline, an image, a subheadline, image, and subheadline. That sort of tells people what we're going to do when, basically what I do to help you. So the first element I'm going to choose as an image. I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to move it in here just to save myself some time. So I've got 3 images, and below the image, I'm going to create a subheadline, and I'm going to create 1, 2, drag it, and drag it across. So now I've got everything sized correctly here, and then obviously I want to put images in here. So let's just write this out first so we know what we're going to look for images for. So how I will help you. So I gather, maybe I do, or I start the phone call to establish your needs. I analyze the market based on your needs, and then I present my solution to you with in-depth explanations. All right, so I start with a phone call. So I'm going to look for an image, for example, with a phone. So I've clicked on the image. scroll down, and I'm going to go to the image library over here. I'm going to go to Unsplash, and I'm going to write phone call. See what we get. Okay, so that's nice. So I'm going to double click on that. And now I've got that lady on the phone. She looks quite professional. Analyze the market based on your needs. So I click on this, go to the image, and I'm going to go back to Unsplash, and I'm going to write neighborhood maybe. So I can see there's a housing market. Obviously, a picture of Cape Town or your local market would look better, but I don't have anything on file with Cape Town in the moment, but that would look a lot stronger. And then I present a solution with in-depth explanations. So I'm going to type in here solution, Unsplash, solution. Let's choose these guys with a high five. That's quite nice. Great. So now this image, as you can see, is smaller than that image. So you can resize all of these images based on what you want to do. So let's say the height for this one, let's keep it at 300. Or maybe not, that's too high. So let's say 100. Small. Okay, so 400. Okay, so my height and width, it's better to sort of put your images in at the right sizing before you do this. Otherwise, you end up with these sort of skew sections. But this is just for, tutorial purposes anyway, so I wouldn't stress too much about that. And besides, most people are coming in off mobile, so this will be the view that they see. So the image that doesn't line up as well as the other one is less of an issue for you in this scenario anyway. So you can see it's starting to actually take nice shape. You've got your branding, you've got your problem statement with your form, testimonials, the about me, what's going to happen next, so how I help you. And then a nice section that I like to add right at the end is information on the local market. So I create another section. And again, I like a 2-column view here. And something like this, the Cape Town market. So keep it local. Cape Town market as it stands right now. And I'm going to go to text transform, capitalize. And on the right-hand side, I'm going to use this text, and I'm going to write about the local market in relation to a buyer and a seller. What are the things that they're interested in knowing about the local market that they may not have access to? So talk about how many properties are transferred in specific neighborhoods that you operate in, or what's the buyer demand from buyers currently in the market. So anything that's relevant to a seller, or what are the prices, interest rates doing in various areas, and that will be relevant to a buyer potentially too. So you can actually be quite creative in what you write here, but remember to also try and use your Cape Town real estate agent or your real estate agent in Cape Town inside your copy wherever you can. So here, Cape Town market as it stands right now, and then you can write as a real estate agent in Cape Town. I see, and then you would write whatever it is that you see or whatever you predict or whatever you analyze on a daily basis. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to, just to show you, let's pretend that this was quite nicely written out. And what I'm going to do now is I want to put a background here of the Cape Town market. So I'm going to click this, and I'm going to add a background to this section, because you can see it's pretty white. There's no real images to latch onto to make it look really special. So here, I'm going to select the section, and I want a background image on the section. So let's see if we can find a Cape Town image. So you can see BG image for background. Click here, Unsplash, let's write Cape Town. See if we get a picture of Cape Town, and we do get some nice pictures of Cape Town. Okay, so I'm going to choose this one with the CBD. And now it's going to come to the background here. But obviously you can't read this now because you've basically got black text on a dark background. So to make this stand out, I'm going to go to the blue section here, which is our row, and I'm going to give this a background. So I'm going to make this with this background here to darken it, so that when I click on this image, on this text here, and I make it white, so bold text, make it white, and then here, normal color. See, this isn't bold, this is just normal text. Make it white, and now it actually stands out a little bit more prettily, and it looks a little bit nicer than just the white. So again, I can break up these sections. So this one, I'm also going to give a background color. I'm going to choose the gray I had earlier. So they separate these areas. And then maybe here too, this section here. So this would be this section. I'm going to put a background image as well. So let's choose something for Cape Town again. Let's see if we can find something cool. That's a nice image. Okay, so if you operate in this area, obviously this would work, but if you don't operate in this section of Cape Town, which I believe is, yeah, I know this area, I just forget the name of it right now. Is it Boerdorp or something like that? So again, I'm going to choose my row. I'm going to give it a background color of that gray, like that. And then my text, I'm going to make the bold text white. And I'm going to make the normal text white. There we go. And you can also change this sort of effect on the background here, which is parallax. So if you select that, you can see it's parallax, but you could also, for example, say just a full center image, and then it doesn't move across the page. It stays like that. That's not actually too bad. And then here we've got our testimonials. We've got our about us. We've got information on how we help our clients. And then we've got the Cape Town market as it stands right now. So maybe just open up this section a bit, make it a bit bigger so that it's got, you can see more of the image. So I'm going to change the padding, make it 100 on the top and the bottom, like that. And now it sits quite nice inside the section. And then you've got your footer at the bottom with your clickable phone number. So as you can see, it's actually not a bad looking page that we built in about, what is it? Probably about 35 minutes or thereabouts. We've created an agent page. So now what we want to do is we're going to hit save. Wait for it to save properly. There we go. And if I go back to the funnel setting, so I'm going to just go out of this one, come back in, because it should save it. Let me just come back in. So you can see here, we have our page displaying. You can either click there or you can click here. So I'm just going to click on this one. And now we can preview it as a live preview. So what would you see if you landed on this from Google? These images have not been optimized in terms of sizing. So the page load speed might be slightly slow. Let's just wait for everything to load up. When you put images into a page, make sure that the resolution is optimal, but the size doesn't have to be, for example, more than 800 pixels wide or thereabouts. It's normally sufficient, provided you've got high quality images. So somebody would land on this page and they'd be able to come here, read about, what's the problem statement. There's the form to fill in. Here's our H2. There's information on who we are. So there's information about David as an agent. How I'll help you in 3 easy steps. So there's what we do. And then here's some information on the Cape Town market. So Cape Town market as it stands right now. And then as a real estate agent in Cape Town, which is the main keyword we're ranking for. If you hover above here, you'll see it says real estate agent in Cape Town. And then that's the basic title of the page. So if this was optimized inside Google search, it would easily be indexable for that keyword. And provided, of course, you've got enough content on your page and it matches the search intent of the person searching for a real estate agent in Cape Town, you stand a really good chance of actually showing up in Google search for that search title or search query that somebody's putting in. So I hope that explained to you in a quick 40 odd minutes how to create an agent-centric page that can actually rank on Google using the right SEO framework for on-page SEO. So that's got nothing to do with the backlinks and image optimization, page load speeds, contentful stuff. This is purely on-page SEO and using your content to your advantage so that you can appear in search results. If you've got any questions, if you need something like this for yourself, or if you're interested in building your own, please do get in touch. You can visit our website or you can search on the various social channels and find us that way. Anyway, hope you have a great day further, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.